Hi, beautiful spooky people.
Oh.
This afternoon, Rob discovered that everything at Home Depot had dropped to 50% off. We actually headed over to Burger King to see if they had the spooky buckets out yet, and they did. We scored all the spooky bucket stuff. And then we went to our local Home Depot, and we're just going to pick up this guy. But we also, while we were there, went ahead and snagged the cat, which should have been $200. We scored him for $99.99. The best of all was this guy down here. We got the 15-foot scarecrow, supposed to be $400, but he is 50% off at Home Depot right now online. And we're really excited about putting this guy together this weekend. Do a little unboxing with him and let you see just how complicated he might possibly be to get all 15 feet of him up, but we'll check it out this weekend. But we are so very excited about this. So yeah, hit up Home Depot online because a lot of their animatronics just dropped to 50% off today. Here is the 15-foot Worrycrow. We're gonna go ahead and start setting him up. Rob's already got most everything out of the box because we had to lighten it up in order to get it over here in the yard. But it came pretty well packed in, so it looks like it's going to all have to go back in the box, go into storage. I don't know that this is going to fit in one of the bags like we use for the 12-foot guys, but we'll give it a shot and find out. But yeah, everything came pretty well protected, boxed up really well. We picked out a spot right in front of the pole barn here to where we've got a really level part of the ground. And I think he'll look super cool standing up right here in the corner of the yard. So we are going to start figuring out how to put this guy together.
So all of the pieces are labeled pretty well. These first two pieces, when they go in, there's actually a bracing bar that you slide up to connect them, and then you slide it back down. It's really nice since this thing is so tall to have this extra support in there. It just makes it feel a lot more stable. Make sure that whenever you pull out all the screws, you have a nice little bowl to put them in because they only give you the exact number of screws that you're going to need to tighten all of these parts down with. And we start out with a few of them right here to hold the brace in place before you start building up those legs on the bottom. Now, interesting note, the directions are not exactly in order and are not completely clear. Fortunately, there's an app through Home Depot that you can get that'll walk you through with better videos of how things go together. Because a lot of these things fork off in different directions. So unless you are very clear on which direction you're looking at, the directions that come in the box aren't super clear. But it is nice how everything has these additional brace pieces and the screws go in to tighten things up at just about every step. So you don't have to worry about things moving as long as you take the time to put it all where it's supposed to be as you go. They recommend that you have 3 people to put these guys together, these 15-foot guys, and I completely understand why they would say that. But Rob and I managed to do it with just the 2 of us. If we had never put one of the big guys before, I don't know that we could have pulled this off. But since we've done so many of the 12-foot guys, we kind of knew the basics. So when we got to this point and we got ready to put the pelvis on, Rob just held it in place while I made sure I connected all 4 of the wires. Be really careful when you're doing these connections because our werewolf, when he came in, some of the prongs inside one of the connectors was already broke. So he howls, but his eyes have never worked, even when we tried to get the parts from Home Depot to fix him. So we just stand him up in order to have that leverage to push down on the pelvis to get it to lock into place. That's when you really need 3 people, is for somebody to sit at the base while you push against it. It's just easier to stand it up and push it down, especially if there's only 2 of you. So once the pelvis is in and you get ready to add that torso, it is really important that you have somebody to support it while somebody else goes ahead and makes sure you snugly secure all those connections before attaching the torso. And then once that part of him's together, you're ready to start putting his clothes on him. The torso was the only thing that we were surprised didn't have any locking pins to it to hold it into place, but that's because once it's on, the next step is to add the loop screw, and that loop screw is what tightens that torso against the bar that kind of acts as its spine. So that holds it really snug, and then the jacket will fit right up over that. There is an additional piece with the jacket that velcros inside of it up under the shoulders and around the neck, and that's supposed to act like the little collar around the base of the head, so it makes it look more like it's a sack head that sticks out over it. When you're putting the wire on, it makes it a little easier if somebody kind of lifts up on the chest a little bit, because then that takes a little bit of the torque off it. It makes it easier to secure that second side down. Do make sure you have gloves. It takes a lot of leverage to be able to pull them and hook them. So make sure you have some gloves, have somebody lift up on the other end. And then to get the arms in, have somebody push the sleeves all the way up over the shoulder so that you can get that arm in. The one on the left side, the locking pin is pretty high up into his shoulder, so you have to push it in there pretty good for it to click, but it will click into place. The other side, you didn't have to go quite as deep with, but yeah, they both do have the little locking pins in there. You'll hear them click into place once they're where they're supposed to be. Then when you start putting on the forearms, make sure that you are looking closely at those tabs, because the tabs on either side aren't exactly the same, which is really nice, because in some of the other models that we've done, the tabs are identical, so it's really easy to put the arms on backwards. But with these, they're slightly different, and they seem to lock a little more securely than some of the other guys that we have. So that's really nice, especially since it's almost impossible to climb up on a ladder and put an arm back on if it comes off, because it's not quite tight. And again, you've got the tightening screws that'll go in there that are also going to help just kind of hold it into place. And I know some of the other guys had those on them too. Our Skelly does for sure. But these just seem to fit a little bit better. They just feel a little bit more snug.
All right, so we're getting here close to the end. We haven't seen the head yet, but everything has been packaged really, really well so far. So we're going to unbox the head, because that's the next thing that we need to put onto our 15-foot Worrycrow.
Let's see. Everything's really good. Really well so far.
Oh, cool.
Scary.
Cool. He's scary.
See where the hat goes.
Yep. It's got a lot of Velcro on him.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
You can see the LED in the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, just one plug-in for the head.
Yep. This thing has gone together a lot easier than some of the earlier guys we got.
Bad.
Yeah, it's been really easy to put together.
All right.
All right, ready? Let's go put it on.
So when we get ready to attach the head, again, just like with the torso, it's good to have at least 2 people, so one person can hold it in place while the other one tightens the connection on there. I do really like the connections on this guy. You start out with 4 down below the pelvis, then you have the 3 once you get up into his torso, and then we just have the one that's attaching for his head that's going to control the head movement and the lights in the eye. The hat is pretty cool. It does have this elastic strap that fits down around his chin. We weren't real sure at first where that went, but yes, it does fit in a groove right up under his chin so the hat doesn't blow off. And then in addition to that, there's a really sturdy piece of Velcro at the front of the hat and one at the back of the hat. So here we go. We're going to stand him up.
All right, so we have him up. He's not staked down yet. We're about to climb up the ladder and figure out how to straighten a few things out. You can tell that sun's really bright today. It was supposed to be cool, but it is not cool. It is very hot out here. But there he is. All 15 feet of him.
Edit that. So we're about to stake this guy down, and I noticed that usually with the big guys at Home Depot, there's 4, but this has 6. Sliding things, which is fantastic because they're normally 4, so this is gonna help a lot. So that was good because this is 3 more feet bigger than most of them. And then they give you these, which are fine. There's nothing wrong with these. These are nice. But a couple of years ago, they sold these, right? And these, I thought they were so good when I used them. And I went back and I bought more packs because if you look at it, I mean, they're just so strong and they're so heavy. That you hammer them down, and sometimes I gotta use the old heavy one. But once you put these in, it's not going anywhere. Comes with these. I put these in, but then I follow up with these, and I've had no problem. Oh, that or see each way.
I think I worry about there was with the rocks under the ground. Yeah, you could tell those are a lot thicker and a lot heavier than the other ones.
Put these in. He looks good. We don't know if he works yet. We haven't plugged him in, so hopefully.
Oh, wow. He looks really good. Really cool. We definitely are going to need a spotlight on him, but other than that, I could not be more happy with him. He feels very sturdy. He's not going anywhere. One of the complaints that I have heard from people is about his sensor. It's down near his knees, but we've already noticed that the cars driving by on the road out front are setting him off. So they do the same thing with the werewolf. But in order for a person to set him off, you got to get up a little bit closer. So there's our little dudes climbing over the fence. And here it is after we get a little bit of a spotlight on him. I could not be more happy with him.